G'day guys, and welcome to something a little bit different today. We're looking at American Truck Simulator. This is a game that I've sunk a lot of time into over over I reckon since it came out, since its release, which I think was over 12 months ago now. Time does fly. Sunk a lot of time into this one. Really enjoyable game. So. I've actually had to restart my progress just not too long ago on this one because I did get a new PC, and as a result, lost all my game progress as as is known to happen. So reloaded it up. I have done a little bit of progress in this game, but the reason that I'm deciding to make a video on this one is that there's actually been quite a bit of new content released since I last had anything to do with this game. So the first thing is, if we go to the world map, you can see there all the roads and so on that are included. But up here, Oregon, it's new content. It's the newest state that's actually been released for ATS, and I haven't actually driven through it yet. So I thought it might be a good opportunity to do a series of videos where I actually go from my little base here in Phoenix and try and take a few jobs up through either California or Nevada here, and go up into Oregon and have a look around in there and see how it all looks. Can teleport there, of course, but I think driving there is probably going to be a lot more fun. So we'll try and take a few jobs up towards that way, and get into Oregon. Now, the other thing that you may have noticed if you're sort of a little bit familiar with this game is that this truck here is not a standard truck. It's actually a mod. And it's not a free mod, it's a paid mod by a group called RTA. I'm very picky with mods. I don't like anything that's anything less than perfect, and it really bugs me when some people can put up with those little bits and pieces about free mods and so on that might not be quite perfect. And every now and again, of course, you get a free mod that's awesome, but I'm really picky, and as a result, I've gone for a paid mod from RTA. So this is the truck we've got here. It's a Kenworth, as you can see. I think it's called a K108. And as you can see, it's a little bit different to the other trucks in American Truck Simulator, as it's more the European sort of cab over style. Some people like this design of truck. I do, and also there's the not inconsiderable little aspect of it where it's actually easier to maneuver around because it's got less front overhang, and you can see better, and it's just shorter than one of the big W900s or something like that. It's got the big bonnet that comes right out the front and everything else. So and they have actually detailed this quite well. So what we'll do is we'll just jump into it very quickly. And here we are. Can't see too much actually because it's the middle of the night, but everything's really well modelled in here. I will give you a better look around once the sun comes up. I didn't actually factor in the fact that it might be night. But the one cool thing about the inside of this one is you've got the sleeper bed back there, and if you turn your head around, it actually puts you in the back and puts you in the bed. So a little bit of added realism there when you want to go to sleep. You can actually jump in the back, which is something that you can't do with the normal trucks that actually come direct with this game. So what I will do is we'll just go into the job market and we'll see if we can find something that's going to take us a little bit closer to Oregon. So what we want is a job that's leaving from Phoenix, and we'll see if we can get something going into California or Nevada. We've got one up here, one that's going to go, it's only just going to take us just into Nevada, isn't it? So we'll try and get something that's going to take us a little bit further. It's only to Vegas. Vegas is actually, in fact, I might do the one to Vegas, because Vegas is actually really well, one of the things I was going to touch on in this video is how well they actually do the modelling of the areas that they're trying to model. Of course, it isn't a full-scale map. You don't have to drive 12 hours to get somewhere that'll take you 12 hours to go in real life, you can actually just, you drive that distance in a condensed amount of time. As a result, the maps are smaller than real life, and it's much more playable. But the challenge that comes with that for the game developers is to actually capture the feel of each area that they're doing without modelling every building, every tree, everything else. And the way they do Vegas actually is quite clever. So we might go to Vegas. Hopefully when I do arrive there it's in the night, but because that's obviously when Vegas looks the best. But we'll set our run for Vegas anyway. And now of course we've got to actually go pick up the job, and that's been loaded into our GPS. So let's get all set up here. Get the headlights happening. No, that's the indicator. I've got to remember how I mapped all these buttons now. It's been quite a while. Okay, so we've got that there. High beams. Where's my wipers? Wipers, there we go. It's actually raining in the middle of Arizona. So, alright. So I'll just go to back out of the yard here. As you can see, there's a little bit of traffic out there, which we don't want to go crashing into, of course. Can't really see too much. Try not to just reverse out into the middle of the other lane, and we'll get rolling. One of the really annoying things about this this truck is, I'm sure it's authentic, but the beep that's there for the indicator, I don't understand why they wouldn't just use that little soft tick that they've been using for years and years and years. Looks like the rain's actually... no, it's still going. I was actually in a work ute of one of my mates a couple of years ago, and that had the same sort of beeping that that this truck has, and it's just so annoying when you're sitting there at the lights. The thing's just beeping away at you. I don't know why they decide to give indicators a more annoying sound, but anyway, they have done. Really big fan of SCS, the developers of this game, and they do European Truck Simulator as well, which is pretty much the same thing but in Europe, and that was the first one that actually came out. This one came out a couple of years later, and I know a lot of guys like to drive the European one because Europe is you've got more trucks and more countries and different road rules and so on. I just really like cruising the American highways and the small country towns that you go through, and the way that they do those is something I enjoy quite a lot. So, alright, so we'll just have a look here. Now this was the one we set our GPS for. We could also go to LA if we wanted to, or there's obviously other jobs around the place. We want to go to Vegas, so we'll take this one. And that'll be our trailer down there. One of the other things I'm sort of interested in taking a look at on this drive is they've just released some new content. They're actually working quite hard on trying to make the trips and the world that this game's set in a little bit more dynamic. And the way that they're actually doing that is, already you've got features where you'll sort of go past random roadworks and car accidents and bits and pieces like that. Excuse me. Excuse me. But they're looking at putting in detours as well. So you might come up against the need to detour and have to take an alternate route, which means you'll drive out onto roads you wouldn't normally have driven out onto. So Makes it a little bit interesting. I'll be interested to see if we actually get anything like that in this trip, where we have to divert around. And of course, you know, you've got the opportunity to run out of fuel. You might go over your rest stop. You know, you've got to take your rest stops like a real truck driver does. So, as you can see there, we're just hooked up to the trailer. Just hook it up. As you can see, the legs are going up there. They've connected the air lines there onto the trailer, so lots of detail. And as they release every one of these little updates, the developers of these mods sort of keep pace with it as well, and that's a good thing about paid mods. They generally try to keep pace with the developments in the game, make sure there are no mismatches. Okay, get rid of those wipers, and we'll get rolling. Biggest challenge, of course, is making sure that you don't drag your trailer down anything. I'm not a real truck driver. I've never driven anything bigger than a small moving van, so probably for the best as well, really. We're just going to have to wait for these guys to go past, because we're going to need to swing out into that lane to get this trailer out properly. We've got another truck coming. Hopefully he'll brake for us. Just watching the trailer there, very, very close on the gate, but we've done it. You just wait there for a sec, mate. Just wait. Now, what we might do is just pull up here for some fuel. We are at about half tank at the moment. This thing has a massive fuel tank. It's absolutely huge. It can go for a long time, over 1,000 miles I think on a tank. It's a long way. But we'll just pull in here just in case you guys haven't actually seen how it works. You can wait there, Jeep. It's actually a lot easier to do this when you haven't got a trailer on, but we've got a trailer on, so we'll just do it. I remember getting stuck in one of these when I had a really, really long trailer on. My own stupid fault. Okay, so you just pull out to the pump here. Stop the engine. And then you just hold the enter key or whatever key you've got mapped to fill it up. So as you can see, we're in there a bit skew if. It's not really designed to come in with a trailer, I don't think, but the way they model everything. Background noise as well, you know, you've got sort of ambient noise of traffic and so on in the background, just adds to the immersion. And realistically, that's all you're after in a game, isn't it, is immersion. Something to make you believe you're really there. Just the sound of the money coming out of my account for the fuel. Fortunately, no traffic getting around. It's now 2:42 in the morning in the game. But as you can see, that clock will tick over pretty fast because it is all sort of condensed. Go on then. Just waiting for a written invitation by the looks of it, never mind. Traffic behaviour is normally pretty good in this. Every now and again they do random stuff, but they're pretty good. Normally I'd have the radio going. You can actually, one of the best features about this game actually I'm unable to show you because what they actually have is the ability for you to tune into internet radio stations, and it's all sort of American style stations that you'd normally be listening to, I imagine, in this part of the world. And of course you stream them there, and then you get the real life news updates and everything like that. And it's just and the music, and it's just I just missed that turn off while I've been jabbering to you, idiot. And it just all sort of adds to the immersion. So it'd be really good to have that on, but unfortunately, in a YouTube video, if you want to have music in it, you need to pay the poor starving musicians some money, and if you don't, they send Chuck Norris around to your house or something, I don't know. So either way, long story short, I can't have it on. Normally I'd have it on. Wonder how much of a big detour I'm going to have to do due to the fact I missed that turn off. Good thing about driving at night is there's not so much traffic, but the bad thing is you can't really enjoy the scenery. The scenery that they make in this game is absolutely brilliant. It's one of the best things about it, but we're just going to have to wait for the sun come up. Good news, I suppose, is we're going to get to watch the sun come up. Just going to take the turn off here. Won't miss this one as well, that'd be stupid. Stupid to miss the first one, really. But just the way they model these junctions and everything as well, like if you get into playing this for a few hours and you really start to believe you're there. Look at all of that down there. Got another service station and a rest stop over here. And I'll take a look and see how long I've got until my next rest stop. 6 hours. Game hours, that is. And I reckon I'll have this delivery done in 5 hours. So we'll be able to do the delivery and then go for the rest stop, which is good because it means you won't have to watch me resting. Even though it does accelerate it. But you can see the sun sort of popping up now, or it's starting to get a little bit brighter, just get a bit more of an idea of the way that they try to capture what the local area is like. I mean, I've never been to this part of the world, so I can't tell you, but maybe I imagine it's fairly accurate. Captures the feel of the area and so on. Maybe if you're from this area you can let me know. You've really got to keep a watch out for those speed limit signs as well, because the police will bust you for speeding.
I've been busted more times than I care to remember, and it does cost you money in the game as well, which of course stops you from buying new trucks, new garages, new upgrades, all the rest of that, because you're spending it all in fines. So you'll also get fined for running through red lights and all that kind of stuff. Good thing is the truck does come with cruise control, so I can set that for the speed limit, not worry about it. The danger is, of course, that you come up to a corner and go a little bit too fast for it because you're on the cruise control. So you've got to keep an eye out, because these things do not corner like race cars. Absolutely out in the sticks now. There's just nothing around. There's the sun poking over the horizon. We're going to have to make another turn up here. Looks like we're going onto another highway. Merging can be tricky if there's a lot of traffic around, which there is. There's a truck there, and you just haven't got the acceleration to pull out in front of anything, because, you know, you're in a truck. They are actually noticeably faster when you haven't got a load on, and the weight really makes a difference. Love the variety of traffic as well that they have. You know, quite often you'd see something like this, there'd only be like 3 or 4 different vehicles or whatever, but not only do they have loads of different types of vehicles, but they really fit into the area that you're in. So if you're in Vegas, you're going to see limos, and if you're in a small country town, you're going to see pickup trucks and stuff like that. So yeah, it's good how they've taken that level of detail as well. Rid of the lights now. Sun's well and truly up. Other new Mustangs coming up next to us there. I think that's a recent update because I don't think they had. I think they had the older model Mustang on here before. So that's a recent little update that they've done. So they're updating the traffic as well as new models get released. I think this is a convertible Mustang coming up next to us. Yeah. Who wouldn't want to cruise desert American highways in a Mustang? Convertible Mustang. Who wouldn't want to do that? I've always wanted to do Route 66. Maybe taking a NASCAR race while I'm over there. For now, I'll just have to pretend. So we've just gone past the first sign for Vegas, so we're definitely on the way. You can see if you turn off to the right there, you've got historic Route 66. But we've got a job to do, so we have to stay on course. Get over into this lane because we've got a turn off coming up. These billboards that they put up as well. Just all these little extra details. Just in case you can't tell, I really like this game. I really do. So many little pieces and details that they don't have to include, but they do. Could be a bit of a wait. Oh no, we've got lights, it's okay. Some old abandoned buildings over there. That's what I really like about these the way they model these small towns. They just do them brilliantly. Little burger place. We are on the road to Vegas. Too bad the game doesn't let you indulge in anything else in Las Vegas, apart from driving your truck around. Never mind. That wasn't me. That's the little yawning sound bite that they put in there to let you know you're getting close to needing a rest. I'd imagine there's going to be a place for us to stop and sleep in Vegas, so I'm not going to worry about stopping off before we get there, because we should be there in plenty of time. For anyone wondering, that mesh at the front of the windscreen, that protective mesh there, is a optional extra that you can put on this truck. Buy it as an accessory. It comes with the pack, of course, but you know you spend in-game money to put little extra bits and pieces on the trucks. And I've chosen that. It's another one of those good things about these paid mods as well. They have good choice of upgrades. You know, down to the type of dash you want. You know, you can customise these trucks to quite a large degree to get something that you really like. Check out the dam. I'm all over the road showing you the dam because I wasn't looking where I was going, but yeah, they model everything really, really cool. We are on the road to Vegas. Very close now. 47 minutes in game. 29 miles. So we won't be far away at all. And the police cars also change state to state as well. You'll get different liveries on the police cars and different types of police cars. You'll get like, I think I've seen a few sort of SUV style police cars, and there's like a Dodge. And there's the famous sign there on the left. Welcome to Las Vegas. So here we are. I'm going to need to get over to the left. Now this is what I'm talking about, the way they model these places. Even though you can't drive down every single road in Vegas, they model the buildings and the landmarks and everything like that to make you feel as though you're really here, even though they don't model every single road, every single building, all the rest of it. one of the oddities about the States, you can actually turn right on a red light. It's a good idea. There was a bug in this game for a while that you could drive through a red light no matter what direction you were going, so long as you had your right hand indicator on. You would assume that you were turning right and you'd be fine, but they fixed that. Found out the hard way they'd fix that. So it's gone red, but I'll just cruise around to the right. No problem. A few famous Vegas landmarks ahead of us. As my little driver continues to yawn. The place looks much better lit up at night, but hopefully we're going to get an opportunity to actually see that on the next video, because after I do this drop off I'll take the truck over to a rest point, and the next video will likely take place in the dark, I think. Oh, will I make this? No! I did not get a fine. I did not get a fine for running the red light. I don't know if this area is newly modelled, this Mandalay Place here. I don't remember having... I mean, I haven't driven down this road before in this version of my save game, but I've driven all around it, and I don't remember that, so that might be new. I need to get over, but I've got a bloody Range Rover next to me. There we go. Here we are. We're just going to come up to the delivery point, which is a place called Walbert. Of course, we all know what it's really called, but they don't have licensed company names apart from the truck manufacturers, so they use very close approximations. There is a mod you can get that actually puts the real names in, if you're kind of crazy for that sort of thing. I haven't bothered, but you can get it. Yeah. Now normally I'd at least make an effort to park the trailer. You get an option. So I'll stop here and I'll show you exactly what happens. So you get 3 options. You can, and it gives you an idea of where the trailer is going to be needed. So say that's the most difficult one. You get an extra 40 XP if you do that parking challenge, and you've got to get it up and reverse it there. There's an easier one where you pretty much just have to drive it up there. That's the one I normally choose. I don't get a lot of satisfaction out of sitting there reversing. Seeing as we are in such a hurry to go and get the go to the rest stop and get a sleep, we're just going to do that, which means you can drop the trailer off. Alright, so there we are. All delivered, bit of money, bit of XP, and so on. So what I might actually do is I might leave it there. There's not a lot to be gained in watching me drive to a rest stop, which is just down the road anyway. So I'm going to drive to the rest stop. We'll end the video there, and join us next time for the next episode in the Road to Oregon. Taking a big step towards it. In this one, we'll just continue to take jobs that take us even closer to Oregon, and then have a look around and see what the state looks like. So thanks very much for watching. If you do want to be let know when the next video goes up for this series, just hit the subscribe there, and you'll get notifications of when the next video is up. Until then, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.